Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and today we've got the sound system demo on the 2023 Genesis G80 and its 21-speaker Lexicon audio system. This is going to be an in-depth review. We're going to take a look at how the infotainment system works, take a look at audio inputs, adjustments, controls, speaker locations, then we're going to head out on the road and listen to these sample tracks while we're rolling, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end. Now, if you don't care about any of that stuff at the beginning and you just want to hear the music, click ahead in the video. We've got chapters to get you right to the tunes. And if you're tired of hearing the same songs week in and week out, sign up to become a Daily Motor member. I'm going to record a members-only sound test on this car, and we've got members-only sound tests on quite a few other Genesis products as well as a bunch of other cars, a lot of fun tracks. So help support the channel and check out that extra content. Link is below. Before we get started, hop out and take a look at it. This frozen, crusty car is the Genesis G80 Electrified, or Electrified G80, technically, as it calms itself down there. This is essentially the same G80 sedan that you get in gasoline form, but this one has an electric powertrain, a few interior differences, and if you want to see those, check the link in the description. But for all intents and purposes, this should sound about the same, aside from the lack of engine noise, as the normal G80. Now, we always do these tests with lossless, uncompressed WAV files on a USB stick plugged directly into the system, and high-quality Roland binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system demo on YouTube. I recommend listening with headphones so you can hear exactly what I hear in the driver's seat. We also do these tests with the sound settings set to their factory defaults, just as the audio engineers intended, so let's take a look at those now. You have a touchscreen and rotary knob combination. Whoa, did that adjust something? Is that? This is a touchpad. I kid you not, I did not know that until right now. What? You can slide between tracks with that. That is actually incredible. Did not know that. Anyway, revelations here. So you can touch the screen, you can rotate this rotary knob and move it around like a joystick. I knew that much, but I did not know that you could actually swipe on the top of it to make actions happen. Okay, very cool. But we are going to mostly control it this way right now to keep the fingerprints off the screen. So let's go up here to Menu, scroll down for Sound Settings. Greeted with Premium Sound. We have a few different Logic Surround applications here. Right now we are in Reference, so that's going to be no artificial surround. But you've also got Audience and On Stage. Audience says expansive sensation of being in the best seat at your favorite venue. And then On Stage provides an immersive sensation of being part of the performance on stage. So as the music gets picking up here, we'll toggle through all three of those. Below that, you have speed-dependent volume control, so as you get going, the audio volume is going to adjust. We're going to put that onto smallest change for this test. And startup max volume limit. I actually appreciate this quite a bit, because if you're listening to really loud music, you come in late at night or something like that, or just end of the day, maybe end of the workday, come in at home, shut the car off. When you get back in it in the morning, you don't want to be blasted at that same level, so I appreciate that setting. All right, let's go through the surround modes. On Stage is definitely going to give you the most artificial, hollow sound. Audience, I like using that sometimes for listening to easier music, but in general, if you want the most true to recording sound, you're going to want to stick with Reference. Below that, you've got front, rear, left, right, fader, and balance, pretty straightforward. And then tone, treble, mid-range, and bass. Let's go through those. Pretty good range of adjustability, but for a high-end audio system like this, I would like to see a 9-band equalizer, maybe even at least a 5, just for a little bit more customization. And that is it for audio adjustments. For audio controls in the G80, you have a nice volume knob on down here. It's actually a little bit of a scroller with your finger. You can also click it to mute, and then you have an identical scroller on the left side of the wheel. I really like having volume scrollers on the wheel. It's just very easy to either fine-tune or large adjust your volume right there. For track selection, you can, as I just learned, slide with the touchpad, or with the rotary knob here. Did not know that. You can also use this tuning knob up here. You can use the touchscreen if you're on the proper menu, or you've got a rocker right next to the volume as it should be. For audio inputs in the G80, do you have AM in this car actually? Let me see real quick, because not all EVs have AM radio. Nope, this one does. So you have AM, FM, Sirius XM satellite radio, Bluetooth, support for wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and I believe that is it. So what does that mean you're missing? Well, there's no 3.5mm auxiliary input jack, no disc player, not really any streaming services that I can see, no sort of Apple Music or Spotify built in or anything like that, no USB Type-C for data, just USB Type-A right here, and then that big lack of wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. If I were you, if you own a Genesis, a Hyundai Kia, or any other product on the market there without wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, pick up one of these. There's a link to this down in the description. It's a smart box, $100 or something like that. You plug this in, and then you get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I keep it around with me for these type of cars because it's so much easier, especially when you have a wireless charger already. Why they don't support wireless Android Auto is amazing to me, or Apple CarPlay for that matter. Speaker locations. As I said, this is a 21 speaker system. It's been a little while since I've learned these ones, but let's see if I can get them all. Starting in the bottom left, door woofer 1, mid-range 2, tweeter 3. This one's kind of funny. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all up here in the front, kind of a soundbar setup. 9, 10, 11 on the right door. Coming into the back. 12, 13, 14, woofer mid-range combo. Tweeter, just like the fronts. 15, 16, 17. 18, 19 woofers in the deck lid there, or maybe they're mid-rangers, not quite sure, and then 20, 21 subwoofers under the seat. All right, we're gonna get this stuff put away and get out on the road. It's really weird listening to this system because there is a lot to like about it. The sounds are very tight. You hear that snare drum come in or the bass guitar or whatever, and you're like, oh yeah, this sounds quality, this sounds good. I feel like I'm in a good sound system here, and that's what we come to know and love from Lexicon in the Genesis products here. But there's a lacking of power, there's no drive. You're hearing the crispness, and then you're going, well, what's next? So it's gotten you to one level, but you're not being taken all the way home. So some songs you're really going to notice it, and other songs you're not going to notice it at all. It's going to sound fantastic. So I am curious for this next song, when we turn the bass all the way up, what's going to happen. That helps a lot. I mean, I'm not getting the rumbling bass that I would want from a high-end system. But it does fill the car out pretty well. I know I don't usually talk here, but turning it to audience mode seems to calm down the mid-range a bit and bring up, it sort of extracts the really crispy highs and allows the low end to breathe a bit more as well. So I've actually been a pretty big fan of using audience mode with this Quantum Logic Surround, which is not something I typically do. Wrapping up my thoughts on the 21 speaker Lexicon sound system here in the Genesis Electrified G80. Have you ever had somebody say they love you, but you don't actually feel it from them? You're just hearing their words? That's how I'm feeling about the system here in this car. I know it's got bass, I know it wants to come through, but I'm not feeling it in the music. I don't feel like it really is there. I feel like I gotta really squeeze it out. In fact, turning bass up +5, 4 to 5 is about what I think sounds better with the system. Listen. Now, part of that could be a personal preference thing, but also I have good reason to believe that the batteries in the floor of this G80 are affecting what they were able to do with the underseat subwoofers. So as you know, they've got underseat subwoofers for this car, and in the gasoline G80, the floor is lower, there's not batteries underneath there, so the seat goes a little bit lower, and I bet you there's more room for the subwoofer cavity to breathe. In this car, it's gotta be more limited because the bass just isn't coming through in a proper way. I was anxious once this track came on because I knew I had to give it a rating, and I'm really having trouble between A and B. I think it needs to be a B, like a super high B, like an 89.4%. But it just doesn't, and I know the track's running out here, usually we're done by now, but it doesn't represent what's really, what you really appreciate about an A-tier system, where pretty much any song you turn on is going to sound really good. Some songs sound really good and other songs are kind of missing it. So, high B, weird from Lexicon, because usually Lexicons are A-tier, but I think the electric aspects of this car is a little bit of a downside. So if you own an electric G80 and you think your sound system's a little bit lacking, just know you're not crazy. Thank you all so much for watching. If you want to see more on the G80, check the link in the description. We did record a members only sound test if you want to dig in a little bit deeper into the sound system here and hear some other tracks. And we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.